don't know if you can, but can you get an owner for ONS? That's ONS Junior Market. The address is 1934 East Anaheim. All the windows are busted out, and it's like a free-for-all here, and the owner should maybe come down here and see if he can secure his business if he wants to.
April 26, 1992.
In coming up with the idea for this video, I did not realize I was making a top 10 list, or top 11. So this one's called Shit My Brother and I Used to Do While Driving. A couple of them don't involve driving, most of them do. All of these things on this list took place 30 and in some cases 40 years ago. The statute of limitations is over. And on some of them, the statute of limitations, well, don't need to worry about that. Number one, on long road trips, my brother and I used to pick out really sappy, syrupy songs and sing them to each other, trying to drive each other crazy. We'd learn the lyrics, try to drive the other one crazy by really getting into the song. I mean, really getting into it. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules, and so forth. Number two, we had a commute to work, worked at the same place. We would commute into work together. In Boston, coming off Route 1, they would funnel the traffic down to one lane and they would use a series of cones, maybe 30, 35 cones, to force the traffic into one lane. Every morning in our crappy shitbox cars, I'd open up the passenger side door and knock down every single cone. And this went on for a year. Number three, one time, coming home from that same commute, because it was a pretty boring ride, we decided to go to the supermarket and get cardboard boxes and cut out eyes. And we drove home with the cardboard boxes on our head, driver and passenger. And as a passenger, we'd get up alongside people and I'd, with the cardboard box, go like this and look at people for their reactions. Yes, we were young and stupid. All right, now let's move on to number four, and we're getting into some good stuff there. On another commute home, decided that it'd be funny to wear a motorcycle helmet and with a 4 or 5 foot length of PVC piping while we flew down the highway, I'd reach out of the passenger side window and smash the guardrail. Well, that was a lot of fun until the state cops pulled us over. So we pull over. The state cop is taking his state cop stance outside the passenger side window looking at me, and I just stared at him for like 5 minutes. Finally, I roll down the window and he asks me, "Are you having a bad acid trip?" If I thought of it, I should have said, "No, man, I was having a good acid trip." And I proceeded to get arrested. Disturbing the peace. Now, they faked up the story that I was swinging the PVC pipe at other drivers. I wasn't. I was just smashing the guardrail. But anyway, number five, this is a good one. We're in Nashua, New Hampshire. We're at a stoplight. We got arrested for smoking weed right outside the Nashua police station. Now, in our defense, it was set back behind the trees. And the funniest part of that story is the cops are talking with us and da-da-da-da, and we saw you smoking weed, da-da-da-da, and they proceed to tell us, "You know, we're trained to recognize that." Oh, really? You're trained to recognize two 20-somethings smoking a joint in a car? Went to the Went to the Special Police Academy for that one, huh? Number 6, we're driving down Route 1 North, around about Danvers, Mass. He gets hiccups, so he decides while driving, the way to stop those hiccups is to hold your breath really, really hard. Well, he manages to hold his breath until he passes out and starts driving up onto the sidewalk. And I remember yelling at the top of my lungs, "Al, you're off the road! You're off the road!" And he wakes up and straightens the car out. We went to a bar after that and had a stiff drink, back when I was drinking. Number 7, after a rainstorm, well, we'd be driving along and we'd see a bicyclist on the side of the road, you know, pedaling away. And we would stalk him until there was a big puddle, and then we'd nail him with an enormous spray of water from the puddle. Yes, I know. But I wouldn't do it now. But is it still funny? Yes, maybe. Oh yeah, here's another one involving people on the sidewalk. So we'd be driving along and there'd be this young, innocent looking couple, you know, maybe a teen boy with his first girlfriend, and they're walking down hand in hand along the sidewalk enjoying each other's company. we would roll down the window and yell, "Quit holding hands and fuck her!" I know, but is it still funny? see previous bullet point. Oh God. Number 9. We're flying down the highway, just doing our thing. Carload of teenagers starts chasing us. So we start dicing back and forth. They pass us, we pass them, back and forth, bing, bang, boom. Well, we're in the middle lane of 3-lane highway, and they're right up our butt. That's okay, you know, who cares? Let's have fun. Well, maybe 200 yards in front of us, my brother suddenly sees luggage broken open, dumped on the highway in the middle lane. So we just very calmly slide over to the left-hand lane and go past it. Well, those guys are tailgating us, and suddenly that luggage appears in front of them, and they lock it up. Absolutely lock it up and won't let off the brake for nothing. The car swings right, the car swings left, hits the guardrail. Now this is the dual guardrail where you've got the highway here, 2 sets of guardrails, and they make like a monorail. Well, they got that big old car up on there, and all 4 tires off the ground, perfectly balanced, stuck there. And I see him in the mirror getting out of the car, just going, "What the?" That was interesting. They almost lost it all the way to the right. It comes back all the way to the left. And he hit that guardrail, and the car just absolutely rode up onto the guardrail and perched there perfectly. These next 2 don't involve driving, because my brother and I were way too young to have licenses, but we weren't too young to be little hellions. Number 10. My brother, as a 11, 12-year-old, he loved to make models. Model airplanes, model cars. It was a thing back in the 60s. The paint for those models used to come in these little glass bottles, 1 inch high, 1.25 inch high, metal cap, square glass shaped things. My brother used to make match head bombs with those bottles. You'd cut the heads off of matches, and then he had fuse material. He would make little miniature bombs. Well, one day, there's a park right near where we live. I think it was probably early fall. The entire ground was covered in leaves. Well, you could probably guess what we did next. we lit the park on fire with one of those bombs. So we ran to somebody's house and told them the park's on fire, and when the fire department came and asked us what the hell went on, we said, well, there was some big kid. He ran by us and he was lighting matches and throwing them on the ground. They bought it. Some busybody lady, she knew what the deal was. We were telling fibs. It wasn't any major damage at all. A section got burned, leaves, nothing major. Finally, number 11 is just a quick list of shit my brother would do to me, or get me to do. The first one was he got me to go into a field with a bull in it and start throwing rocks at the bull. Luckily the bull didn't do anything. He got me to eat Baker's unsweetened chocolate by telling me it was a candy bar. He's probably 10, I'm probably 6. He also got me to put my tongue on the top of a 9-volt battery and shock myself. And one time he shot me in the knee with a BB gun.
And that concludes our broadcast day.
Like and subscribe.